guys, my name is Jasmine and I am your small town gray witch here to talk to you about snow magic. Now, I live in a place where we get a lot of snow. There's a lot of places out there that get a lot of snow. If you are not a person who gets snow in your area and you're not traveling to get snow from a different area or finding a way to obtain snow, this may not be a video for you. But that's okay. It's always good to have knowledge. Feel free to watch this video, take all the knowledge you want, whatnot. So, normally, I actually have to plow because I'm a plow truck driver when it comes to winter weather. So, we've already had several storms, but this Saturday, the guy who I usually cover for is back in, so therefore, I get the weekend off. Awesome. Which means we are going to get a very large snowstorm this weekend. So, since I'm going to be working on things, I figured I'd bring that knowledge to you guys and help you along. So, let's talk about what snow you can use first. So, obviously do not use the yellow snow. That's a no-go. Do not use the brown snow. That's a no-go. Hopefully you're realizing that hopefully a child just spilled some lemonade on the snow, but let's be real, it's probably some excrement from either an animal or a human. So let's not use that. Gray snow, dirty snow, tends to turn gray or brown. Let's not use that snow. That is not good snow. We want white, pristine, non-walked in snow. The other thing you're not going to want to do is you're not going to want to get snow from your first snowstorm. Unless you're getting 2 feet, let the first snowstorm kind of go through. Because what happens is there's a lot of dust up in the atmosphere and the particles in the sky and blah, 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 blah. And as the snow is forming, it's actually dragging all of that down. So your first snowfall is actually usually pretty gross. So, don't use your first snowfall, wait until your second or your third. The other thing is, if it's only this much from the ground, I wouldn't use that either. So you want to wait for a decently big snowstorm. If it's your second snowstorm, but you only get a couple inches, stick a bowl outside. Second snowstorm, so all the dust is down, but you don't want it to hit the ground and you only get a little, stick a bowl outside. That will help you. But you want to kind of scrape off, if you have a big snowstorm like I do, you're going to want to scrape off the top layer of the snow. So that way you can kind of get that nice, new, fresh, clean snow. Alright? So whenever I say use snow, that is the snow I am talking about. Okay? The clean, fresh fallen, top of the line, not the first snowstorm snow. Okay? That's perfectly fine. Okay? So we gotta learn what snow we can and cannot use. Which safety is always good. Let's not eat dirt. Okay? So, we have to think of snow. Moving on. That's the snow we want to get. Now, when we think of snow, we have to think of snow as, yes, snow, but also it is just frozen water. It is just frozen water. That's all it is. So, it has a lot of feminine energy. It has a lot of healing properties. It's connected to the goddess, just like water is connected to the goddess. So, these are all things that we have to think about. Okay? Alright. So, I want to give that concept. What is snow good for? It's good for transformation magic, especially. Because the whole earth right now is hibernating during the winter. Is hibernating, healing, and getting prepared for the fresh growth in the spring. That is what this time is to do, is to pull back, reevaluate, heal yourself, and get yourself prepared for new growth in the spring. That is what winter does for the earth. So, when we think of that snow, That is what we're trying to bring in. So we're bringing in that transformation, the healing, the purification. Because again, all that dead stuff is kind of coming off and then the snow hits. So it's that purification because we're getting rid of the dead stuff and we're hibernating into it. All right? We also want to think about it as new habits or things like that we want to do. This is a great purification to get rid of that. So really transformation and purification. Okay? Okay. A couple other things we can do, like freeze a person, but we'll go there after. All right. So, now, easy peasy. I'm going to talk to you about a couple different things you can do with snow. So we talked about what snow's for. We talked about where to get it. One other thing I want to bring up before we talk about how to use it. What snow's good for? If you are having a blackout snowstorm where power is going down, where cars are sliding off the road, one, always be safe, but two, that is great snow for chaos magic. Just like a thunderstorm would be great water for chaos magic, a huge flippin' freezing snowstorm would be great for chaos magic. Just think about it, okay? When you're having your lights knocked out and all that other stuff, that is the kind of snowstorm that is great for chaos magic. Okay? Alright. So use it as you think. You should. Okay. Things you can do with snow. One thing you can do with snow is we've all created snowballs as a kid. Awesome. Awesome. If you have bad habits or things you want to work on, as you make the snowball, pack that intention into the snowball and then chuck it away from yourself. Okay? Throw the snowball and huck it. Huck it far away from yourself. You're throwing that bad habit energy and you're packing it, and that snow is going to freeze into that bad energy, so it's going to suck it in. Just like water's a purification, snow's a purification. This is a light working spell. It's really easy. Pack the snowball and chuck it away from yourself. These things are great paired with shadow work, by the way. Okay? Okay. Other thing you can do is build a snowman or a snow woman. Put them in the front of your yard. Write protection sigils on them. Make them your guardian snow poppet for the winter. Easy peasy, right? You and your kids can do it. That's another great thing to do with witchlings. Is build a snowman and then carve sigils into it for protection. Put it in the smack dab middle of your front yard. Great for that season of protection. Go for it. Sit in the snow. Just go out and put your butt in the snow. Obviously, beware of frostbite, do the things, yada, yada, yada. Sit in that snow. Let the winter air hit you. Breathe it in and then breathe it out. Okay? Great thing to do. Alright? So, snow turns into water. Whoop-de-doo. Alright. So there's a couple things you can do with this water. So you put snow in a jar. You can put it on your altar if you want it to do quick magic. Or if you have a lid it up and leave it on your porch. If you want it to de-thaw slowly with spring. Okay? So on your altar or on the porch. If you want it soon, bring it inside. If you want it later, leave it on your porch. Okay? Okay. So, what can we do with that water once it melts? One, it's great for purification and that hibernation and then the regrowth. Well, once the snow melts, it is great for regrowth. What do you want to grow in that spring? Especially if you're keeping it out on your porch to melt. When the spring hits, you're keeping that melting, that de-thawing, that regrowth, vitality that the snow brings to the plants. Because believe it or not, the water of the snow melts. And where does it go when it melts? Into the ground. That's how you get fertilized crops and everything else. So bring some of that inside. Well, let it melt on your porch and then bring it in. What do you want to regrow in this spring? Okay? What about yourself do you want to renew? Put it in a bath. sit in your bath, and as you're sitting in your bath, write everything you want to renew about yourself. What do you want to start growing? Okay? What do you want to replant? What do you want to start growing? Great thing to do with snow. Put it on your altar if you need it right away. Okay? Let yourself, if you're having a hard time and you want to pull back from people because it's the winter and you want to do some shadow work, sit it on your altar. That's a great way to purify your altar if you want to use it on your altar tools. Obviously, water-safe altar tools and crystals. You can always purify your water-safe altar tools and crystals with it. Great for that. Or, a great thing to do is let it sit on there, and then as you shadow work, because we're all hibernating, we're all looking into ourselves, do some deep shadow work, and then take a bath in that water that's on your altar and let it purify you. Like, seriously. Snow is great because you're pulling into yourself, hibernating, and then you're bringing in that element of the snow to purification in a cleansing bath. That is great. Okay? One thing you can do is, I'm going to bring up a picture. This is my snow jar. Yes, excuse the bad concepts, but you could literally get a jar in every snowstorm, add a little bit of snow, and then put some herbs in it. What do you want in that bath? What do you want in that simmer pot? What do you... Sorry. I just breathed in something. Ugh. Oh, I breathed in a fly. Ugh, that was gross. Sorry. And I'm probably not going to even edit that out because I think it's funny. But put some snow. Then put your herbs. So if I was going to do a simmer pot, I would probably put in some lemons, some oranges, some like cleansing herbs. And then I would, once it dethaws, add it to my simmer pot in the spring and do a wash with it. You could do a wash with it and do that purification of melting the snow in your house, coming out of hibernation and growing. That would be amazing. You can put snow and then herbs. This is something that you would leave out on your porch all winter. If I was going to do a relaxing thing, like, okay, now let's step into the spring easily, I would do lavender. I would do maybe some rose petals. I would do, maybe at the very top, if I had it, I would do like the little honey, I always called them like buttercups, the little buttercup flowers. Put that in there. Again, always make sure that you're using things that are safe, edible, washing safe, blah, blah, blah. Check your stuff. But these are all the things you could do. If you wanted to do a purification concept, it is what it is. Put some snow. Then as you're making your stews all winter, because we all we all eat a lot of soups. We all do a lot of beef stews during the winter because we eat those warm kind of meals. Your onion peels, your garlic peels, stick those and then stick snow, and then stick those and then stick snow. And then take a bath with them. You're shedding off all of that crap that was on you, you know? So that's really great way, depending on what herbs you use, to do a snow jar. It's pretty freaking... It's not simple. It takes time. That's the thing, is a lot of people don't want to put in the effort that it takes. Sorry. People don't want to put in the effort that it takes. It takes time to do these things. If you were doing this snow jar, you would probably do it from the second snow on. You would take a little bit of snow each storm if you had the time. Put herbs, snow, herbs, snow, herbs, snow. That's what you do. You'd be herbs, snowstorm, herbs, snowstorm, herbs, snowstorm. I mean, you get stuck in your house during a snowstorm anyways. Write a journal entry every time you get stuck in the snow about crap that you want to get rid of. Bad energy, bad gunk you want to get rid of, and what good thing are you going to replace it with? So in your journal, every time you sit there during a snowstorm, write out what's something you want to get rid of, and what are you going to fill that hole with. So I want to stop smoking. Every time I want a cigarette, I'm going to chew a piece of gum instead, or I'm going to crochet instead, or I'm going to click an elastic band around my wrist instead. And then what do I take that time that I was smoking and spend that on? Because obviously I'm not going to sit there every hour for 10 minutes. Instead, I really want to work on doing a YouTube. Every time I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that money towards spending it on my kids and working on my YouTube instead. These are things that you want to figure out what you're going to replace it with, okay? And then, once you're done that journal energy for that thing, go out, get some snow, and then put some herbs that go with that concept. You'll see the different herb, and who cares if each time you put a different herb in that goes with the journal entry? That would be amazing. So, like, if it's bad habit situations, I want to relax, I don't want to crave it, blah, blah, lavender. Okay, I'm just picking something. I don't want to have the bad energy between me and a coworker. I want to shed any kind of crap that they keep sending my way off of me. I want to protect myself. So I'm going to put my garlic peels, because garlic's a protection thing, on that. So on and so forth. You know what? I don't care. I just want to feel clean and cleanse myself, because I feel so dirty from the things that I've done. The next time you can put a lemon peel. It doesn't matter. It's your magic. As long as you're being safe about it, who cares? Who cares? And your neighbors, are they really going to see a jar in your backyard? I understand if you're like kind of sniffy, nosy Karen neighbors. If you got a Karen neighbor, I get it. But if no one's looking in your backyard, who cares if you keep a jar out in your backyard? No, you should not leave the jar out uncovered. When doing a snowstorm thing, you should leave it like on your porch where it's still going to stay frozen, or under cover some sort, because you're going to want to get that jar top off. And to get that jar top off, it has to be unfrozen. So just think about that. Let's not freeze our jar lids to the jars when we want to open them, okay, ladies? It doesn't really work that way. It doesn't work good trying to open a jar that's frozen. Okay? So, keep it undercover, but keep it in that cold. Figure that out. Ooh, excuse me. It's been a long day. So, the other thing I want to talk to you about, the only other thing that massively, so we've talked about snowballs, we've talked about snowman, we've talked about snow jars. You can freeze a person in snow. Make them hibernate. Get them stuck. I know we tend to put people in jars and freeze them to get them away from us, to freeze them, put them on ice. Let them, but snow is great for getting people stuck where they were, because what does it do to your car when you get a lot of snow? You get stuck. You're stuck in the snow. It happens. Trust me, it happens. So, using snow to freeze someone. Put them obviously in your freezer. Use it same way as you do a normal freezing spell, except for you would go out and get that snow and put it in there. 2. The other way you can do it is if they're super angry and super aggressive and they need to chill. They need to go outside and they need to chill. So you can get that cold snow and put it in the jar before you put it in your freezer to help them chill out a little bit. Cool down. Okay? 2 ways to do a freezer jar with snow. And if you use that knockout blizzard snow in anything, especially a freezer jar, make sure you know what you're doing when you bring in that chaos magic into that freezer jar spell. Okay? I am not held liable for what you do with your chaos magic blackout blizzard snow. Okay? Not my problem if any of your magic goes awry in general, but especially that. Okay? Know what we're doing and why we're doing it, ladies. Know what we're doing and why we're doing it. Balance witches make balance magic. Okay. So, the only other thing I want to talk to you about is deities. So, there are several deities that are, I want to say, snow deities or dark goddess deities. Have you ever tried connecting with a dark goddess deity and then knock out, lights out, freezing cold snowstorm? Yeah. Awesome time to work with a deity in that time, especially if it's a dark goddess deity, because you got the feminine water energy and then you got that chaos darkness going on. Awesome. Especially if it's somebody like that kind of floats between the darkness down in Hades or the Persephone. That would be a great person to call on to help that, because she has that growth of the new spring and the darkness, the dual aspect of it. Great to call in on this magic, so on and so forth, okay? Now, there's a bunch of other snow goddesses that we can go through. I know that Persephone isn't necessarily a snow goddess, but she's really good with that back and forth, which snow is about the renewal, even if it's about the healing right now. So, okay. There's a bunch of other snow goddesses out there, and there's a bunch of other dark winter goddesses or cold goddesses or so on and so forth. So just be aware of those, okay? Now, there's one other thing you can do, but I know a lot of people do not have the body to do it, like our physical body. We do not have the strength. We do not have the physical capability of doing this, so I don't really... Know your limits with your physical body. Don't go shoveling snow if you can't, because I'm going to suggest something. 2, know where it's coming from. So, there's a serenity path in gardens. I know you guys all know what I'm talking about. It literally where you go in and you kind of go up and around and out and then through and then up and around and out and through and up and around and out and through and then up and around and out and through, and then you finally get to the middle and you're supposed to walk it in a serenity kind of way. If you have enough snow, or even if you have really a little snow, you could go in your yard and actually dig out that path and then walk it. You could dig out a Hecate wheel with the snow. We don't have to all be amazing artists. Just look at the picture and kind of eyeball it. No one's judging. You could even do some kind of maze and then walk the maze after you dig it out. Yes, it does take some time and some body work, but while you're shoveling, think about why. What intention is this path for? So on and so forth. You can do this. You can even shovel sigils in your front yard or backyard if you haven't, if you wanted to. You could do anything. Shoveling sigils in the snow, but just note that, and you can even, put them on your car for all I care. Write sigils in the snow and let the snow melt. That's a great thing to do on your car. You can do that. Snow is pretty much a paper for your finger, especially on your car. But, note, this is usually not for the witch that is in the broom closet, because people are going to see the sigil on your car and then wonder why you have a sigil on your car. Or see the path, or the sigil, or the Hecate wheel, or the paths to serenity in your front or backyard in snow. And they're going to be like, what's that? Now, the serenity walk, I've always known it as the serenity walk. You could literally just say it's a serenity walk. Honestly, we see it with a lot of people who have addictions. They'll go for a serenity walk. And it's literally, you'd have to type up garden serenity walk to find what I'm talking about on Google or so on and so forth. But it's like the serenity walk. You guys have to know what I'm talking about. But they usually have it in stones. Sometimes there's a bench in the middle, and then you walk it back to get out. It's supposed to just calm the nerves and so on and so forth. And they do have it at a lot of rehabs and things like that, because you get issued and something hits hard, you go out and you walk the path. Alright? So that's something you can do in snow, is you can shuffle it into any kind of design you want. Who cares if your yard looks like a maze? It's your yard. Your magic. Your craziness. You want to be an old crone? You want your house to look like an old crone's house? Find pine branches or evergreen branches, whatever you can find. I don't care. And dig out a surrounding walk and then stick pine branches along the edges of the surrounding walk so you can see it better. That will make you look like a crazy person. And you'll come out in your nightgown, in your snow boots, in a big winter coat, because we all know that's how, and PJ pants under your nightgown, because we all know how it is. Hand gloves, and you'll be walking in your walk. You will look like a crone. Especially if you got a blanket wrapped around you, okay? Okay. That's how we all get to crone status. We do crazy crap like that, alright? Y'all want to be the cranky old lady in the woods? Well, get to walking out in your yard about a jillion times in a blanket and your PJs. And a snowstorm. Well, I wouldn't actually do it in the snowstorm, because then you won't be able to see your path. But you can do it afterward. Okay? Okay. Excuse me. So, we talked about a bunch of different things you can do with snow. We talked about what snow is. We talked about what kind of snow to use. If you guys have other options or ideas on like different things you can do with snow, please put it in the comments. Let's help each other out. Because honestly, I can't come up with all the ideas. I am not that good. I only know what I do. So I would love to hear your comments and what you do in snow magic. Or even your ideas on how to do snow magic in the comments. So we can always have fun with that. And like, follow, subscribe. You know how that is. And other than that, enjoy your snow day, guys. Especially if it's going to hit you hard like it is going to be me tomorrow. And go do magic. Bye.